Oops. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good. I just gathered my gas masses here. Whatever. Give me a minute to wake up here and get motivated. I'm not a. What's that? There we go. Much better. Hello, everybody. Kind of wouldn't group together yet. I hope everybody's having a good night since there's only 3 of us, but that's fine. I'm sure people come rolling in. I'm just hanging. Got a couple good stories I might grab in tonight, as long as everybody enjoys. But other than that, not a whole lot's going on. Pretty casual day. I hope everybody's having a casual day. It's hump day. Well, not anymore. It's Thursday, so we're done with the hump day. Yeah, it's sad. A lot of people, they don't get, it's just me tonight. So if you're new, you know Gemma, she doesn't do late nights. She got a little one she got to get off from school. So, yeah. So it kind of bums me out. I see people come in and realize she's not here, and then they leave. But, hey, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. But other than that, yeah, we're going to wrap about some encounters tonight and see what you guys are doing. See how the night goes. I'm going to take it to 2. I've been trying to push 2 hours. Sometimes we go to 3, but I don't think that will happen tonight. I got to get up in the morning, so get some stuff done. I want to make sure I have a nice, comfortable Friday night for Gemma. I felt bad for her today, so she recorded a video and boo-booed, accidentally deleted it. Done that. Something similar to that, so it kind of sucks. I know how it feels, but it happens. Maybe there was a reason. I don't know. But she fixed it. Edna's here. Thank you, Edna. Hello. At least I got somebody to talk to now. I'm not talking to people hiding in the background, which is fine. I don't mind talking to the ghosts. I talk to enough ghosts all day long, so I'm kind of used to it. How you doing, dear? Loved your posts. The little one is a spunky little thing, isn't he? You can tell by the way he's propped up in that hot chair. I bet he's full of life. Yeah, I'm still smoking. Pop kind of stressed me out. Actually, I've been babying the same cigarette for like an hour now. I figured you were. That's good. I see you enjoying your time back on Facebook. I'm not on there a whole lot either. I go in, check notifications, see whatever Gemma's doing and everybody else real quick, do my hellos, and I'm usually out. Maybe comment on a few things. I'm on to go too much. Facebook's like a break when I don't have time to watch YouTube when I'm cleaning and stuff. He growls like a bear cub ghost. He's such a That's good. That's good. He's very bright. You can see it in the picture. I was kind of impressed. Another bright object in that family. Oh, geez. You guys are definitely a bunch of beacons. But yeah, he looked like a happy kid. That's good. Just keep him that way. Don't baby him. But we know grandparents. I'm just as bad. Yeah, they all went to a concert tonight with the ex, with Tina. Giles just walking door to Giles, and all the kids went. Excuse me. Yeah, they went and saw Jelly Roll. Apparently, my daughter's ex, one of her exes, her first ex, is friends with Jelly Roll. So he was in town. I'd probably guess Giles said it was a great concert. He was all pissed off because EJ got to sit backstage with him and hang out and stuff. Yeah, well, my daughter's was hooked up with one of his best friends. You know, he's from here in Ohio. And they put on a show tonight, I guess. He said it rocked. I guess Michigan, whatever his name is, was there too. But yeah. Oh yeah, I know he is. My ex Tina loves him too. And her and her husband took the 3 kids and then all the grandkids. I guess they had a blast. Yeah, pretty cool. But I got to admit, I was the first one to take them to a concert. I took all the kids for their first concert to see Government Mule because I'd won tickets. But yeah, she said Giles just came in just before stream, just walked in the door, said it was a great show. He was pissed because EJ was down there right on the front row and he was sitting backstage with him having a good time. And Giles goes, I don't know why he doesn't like me. And it's the X thing. You got to deal with it. He helped restore my faith in today's music. Yeah, I guess he's got some good new stuff out too. So, but apparently, Giles said it was a hell of a show. Yeah, he came in all wound up. So you know when you come home all, yeah, this was great. Then you know it was a good show. Like getting done with a good movie. When you watch a good movie and you're done with the movie and you're still all hyped up. But yeah, he said it was really good. Kind of funny that he was upset at DJ. That guy's DJ's an interesting guy, so you know he's come a long way though, so I can't yell at him. But yeah, he's an interesting. Actually, he used to be a tattoo. I'm gonna take these off. My eyes hurt, so bear with me. He used to be a tattoo artist. He did the Ohio State football team during the big scandal when a bunch of them were trading propaganda, like helmets and jerseys and stuff for tattoos. And I got a couple of shirts and stuff that he did that way and gave them to a friend because he's a big Ohio State fan. I was just telling my husband I want to see him. He's making his rounds, so keep your eyes peeled. Edna, he was just here tonight, so look it up. Actually, I'm not a big fan. I don't know much of his music. I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan. I just never really. I know my ex was a big fan of his, so. But they all went. He said it was awesome. He said it was a hell of a show. He said wished it was a little longer. I don't know what time it started. I don't know who opened up for him. Hey, Chris, how's it going? How you feeling, my good man? Yeah, I'm still trying to get down there. I can't do anything until I decide what I'm doing with Para Unity. Hey there. It wasn't me this time. It wasn't me this time, good old man. I've been eating Little Debbie crunchy bars, peanut butter nutty bars. So it wasn't me. I can honestly say that this time. Yeah, my ex has good taste. Yes, she does. Oh, she went to see with when Pink Floyd was at the OSU at the stadium. She went with me to go see Pink Floyd. That was a long time ago. That's when we were still married. Nope, it wasn't me, my man. I have to be honest. It might have been Gemma, but it wasn't me this time. I've been eating crunchy bars, ho-hos. Got people coming in. I hope you're good, Ryan. I hope you're doing good, Chris. I've been working. I haven't had much to watch TV or anything. Before this stream, I actually had a chance to kind of relax. Usually I try to relax before stream, but I always end up doing 1,000 things. Not this time. I actually got to kind of chill out, veg out a little bit. I love concerts. My hubby. I love going to concerts. Like when we went and saw Rogers, it was pretty tame. But I just, not like I used to. Not with the things I see as much as I do now. Even at Roger Waters, I had a great time, even though he kind of lectured a little bit. But other than that, it was a great show, good music. He did some stuff toward the end that was kind of eh. He did like this piano gig that it was kind of like he was sitting in a bar telling stories, and that was kind of eh. But he kicked right back into it again and did the show on a good note. But it was the crowd. I see things in the crowd, and it makes me edgy. So, yeah, I tried my best to stay focused on the stage. I'm doing pretty well. Some Facebook stranger was debating skinwalkers with me. You can't win. No, you can't. You really can't, dude. You really can't. That's why I don't do those. I don't get into it with people. People got their beliefs, their ideas, and no matter how you're wrong or right, they're going to think what they think, and that's up to them. All you can do is give them as much information you can and hope they take it. If they don't, that's on them. SpongeBob. SpongeBob. What about SpongeBob? The world told me the Navajo were wrong about the. I'm not gonna say the skinwalkers. What? I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna find that, dude. Yeah, I get. My big thing is I just get tired of hearing these guys. Everything's a skinwalker or rake now. And I told one guy, no, rake is creepypasta. You want to call him a pale crawler, then that's what you call him. Oh, read your comment about Petra. Oh, was watching a new expedition episode. Josh discovered the first tomb ever found it. Oh, did he? SpongeBob. Yeah, I knew they were supposed to do that, and I forgot to watch it because there was a new show after that called Monsters, Forgotten Monsters or something. That might have been okay, but I guess it was about Chupacabra. I can never say that right either. SpongeBob, that's funny. Was it any good? I like Josh Gates. Yeah, it was okay. That's what I wanted to hear. I'll probably still watch it. I'm sure I can catch a replay. So, yeah, I like Josh. Sometimes he's but you go with it. I know, like I said, I hope everybody's good. Oh, the monster show. What you meant? Oh, it was okay. Oh, okay. It was okay. Okay. Clarifies. Yeah, I wasn't sure. They didn't start off strong. They should have picked the subject a little more. You know. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Josh. Now, I've always liked him, but yeah, he has his. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Been a pretty good, productive day. Yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I got a little bit of headache, but I'm pretty sure that I went to the eye doctor before streaming it Tuesday. And, they dilate your eyes, and it's been like 10 years since I seen an eye doctor. And I had stopped wearing my glasses because I was having headaches. And I knew I need glasses, but I was seeing pretty good. Now it's up close, and they dilated my eyes, man. And this time it really screwed with me. During stream, I was just fighting to see the screen. It was still all blurry, and it lasted all day. Dad had his done like a couple weeks before. He was good by noon. But me, man, I was like having issues. Even after stream, I was still having issues. And today I've had a headache all day. I had a headache last night. I tried to go to bed early. It was horrible. But yeah, I feel great. I do feel great. Just a headache. And I'm pretty sure that's because of the solar storms we're having right now. Because I know when those big ones hit, my ears ring like nuts and I get a headache. White people are infatuated by Wendigo skinwalkers and chupas. Yeah, they are. It is, but they are interesting subjects. As much as I love the Bigfoot stuff, it gets old. It's kind of like with zombies with me. I really got into zombies for the longest time. And then The Walking Dead came out and I watched like the first 2 seasons. And after that, I was just done with zombies. I was just done. So I'm sure people get like that with Bigfoot. Something new comes along. It's like for the longest time, Dogman. Everywhere you went, Dogman. But yes, thank you very much for telling me I look good. I feel good. I mean, like I said, other than the headache, and I'm pretty sure it's a couple of things. I have no irises, so when they do that to me, it takes all day. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I bet that sucks. For me, it was a little people. Now, see, I just watched a video tonight talking about dwarves living in the mountains of. Wait, one second. Let me make sure I get this right, because it was a really good video, and it introduced the fact that known dwarves had been around since, like, the last of them were seen in the 1800s. But it was really good video, and I'm going to take notes on it because he introduced me to some things I didn't know, so I have to go and check it out before I talk about it. But yeah, it was really good video. I really enjoyed it. If anybody's interested, I'll post it here. One sec. Let me post that, because it is a good video. This is the guy I was posting his videos on, and he said I could watch, but YouTube kept giving me a hassle about it, even though he gave me permission. And he even told YouTube I had permission. And we did that, and it just kept being a problem. Hey, war criminal, what's up? How you doing? Well, I'm going to post this video. I hope you're well tonight. Sec. Me and my microaggression, bro. Hey, I'm doing good. Let me post this one video, though. Where are you? Where I just watched? Here it is. Second. Right here. Interesting. This guy's pretty interesting. He just did a bunch of topics before this, but this was really good. It was a good lead into his new little series. He does 2 or 3 of these, and they're always really good. But check him out. Like I said, I was showing his videos there for a while here. No, Chris, you're not wrong. No, I'm good. One criminal, even Edna said I looked good today. I think tomorrow I'm going to shave this down, skin a little too. I'll grow it out more toward Christmas. It won't take long. Grows fast. No, you are correct. I always thought the skinwalkers were evil medicine men. They are. Or anybody that went to the dark side. Now, Ryan, I have a question while you're here. And maybe this is a question I should wait till Tuesday to ask, but I'm going to ask this here. And then if you make it a long answer, then we'll bring it up again Tuesday. But say a magician goes rogue and follows the path of one of these shamans. Does he have to be by one of the sacred mountains if he has the power enough to do it outside that area? Could, say, Copperfield, or no, let's go even better. Say Houdini went rogue and went dark magic total. Do you think he could perform the ritual and become a skinwalker where he's at? Say he was in New York or something, and his magic was strong. Would he still have to be in the range of one of the 7? Was it 7 sacred or 4 sacred mountains? I only knew what I was told. You're definitely on the right track. What do you think, Ryan? Did you catch all that? Did I stutter too much? I admit it. I'm a level 20 necromancer. Yeah, you probably are too. Now, honestly, I think you'd have to have some dying blood and be well within the range of those mountains. You think? I was just curious, because I tell you what, I've seen some Asian magicians lately. I've been kind of into these guys. All of a sudden, I've been getting these feeds of these guys doing some crazy stuff. Now, I understand magic is sleight of hand and all that, but some of the stuff they're doing looks like somebody's been delving into some really deep, dark magic. And you can even see it in their faces, some of these guys' faces. And they're doing some wild stuff. And I'm like, now, if one of these guys would follow the ritual, would they have to be near the mountains if their magic was strong enough? If they had the right kind of, let's say, demon or something following them? I think people can learn shapeshifting without being good. That's a good answer, actually. I didn't think about that, but that's true. And those pairwalker things are something else. Some say these cryptids are just the fallen angels and their offspring that have survived the flood. I believe so. Here's the thing. This is also in the book of Enoch, and it's in the Bible too. They resurface in the Bible even after the flood. Now giants are still there, but everybody automatically say giant Nephilim. The Nephilim was a bunch of things. It wasn't just giants. These fallen angels kind of messed around with animals too, and people don't realize that. So there was a lot of screwed up things running around. And yeah, it's highly possible that even their genes have survived the flood. So yeah, you got to kind of look at it that way. I mean, it's highly possible. I don't think it is the fallen angels. No, like I said, it's something from that gene pool of them screwing around with things like they did. Because they literally screwed around with a lot of things. And the Watchers weren't not exactly innocent. You know what I mean? Yes, they did. And the thing is, see, people don't understand. The fallen angels, they were bound. They weren't really bound to the earth like the Nephilim and all their little offspring were. They were all bound to the earth. In fact, the giants, it's said the giants, when they were washed away in the flood, became demons. They were bound to the earth, so they became demons. Shape-shifting has always been a part of any magic. Yeah, and that's true too. I'm trying to catch up a chat here. We got to remember why the Yi came out. Yeah, I'm just catching up here. It pissed me off, and I can shift. I can't. I can shift shape shift in two. Yeah, I know that feeling too. I know. Hybrids and chimeras of clones in the ancient texts, Chris. Yeah, these fallen angels and the Watchers, they screwed around with things they weren't supposed to screw around. Gave information they shouldn't have given. They were teaching humans things that they were not supposed to be teaching. So yeah, that's just, I'm just going by biblical text. I'm not being too technical, but yeah, I'm just trying to sum it up in words without going too crazy. Are you guys getting me okay? Because my signal on my Wi-Fi is like really weird. For my internet says it's great, but my signal for StreamYard seems like it's not doing much at all. So I'm hoping you guys ain't having any problems. I noticed I'm kind of blurry. That's weird. I bumped up the Wi-Fi and everything. Oh well. But yeah. In fact, I got some good stories I'm going to start here in a minute. Well, not stories, but encounters. I just wish I had proof of some of these, but these were a lot of these happened before. And sometimes we just didn't stop to think. We would just experience it. Sometimes you don't have time. I know, and I have read almost. Yeah, Chris is pretty knowledgeable. Chris is very knowledgeable. So is Ryan. Big question with the Nephilim is the Nephilim were allegedly brilliant. So why these cryptids are so less intelligent? Well, first of all, not all the Nephilim were smart. Okay, some of these giants were so smart. Some of these creatures they created that these fallen angels created weren't as smart as you'd think. Now, the fallen angels and the Watchers were given information and teaching people things. And some of the more intelligent Nephilim, yes, help teach stuff too. But yeah, the cryptid, but you got to think it's kind of like inbreeding. After a while, after so many generations and down the gene pool, it gets a little, especially when you're mating with things that you shouldn't be mating with. You're going to have that. But I don't think all cryptids, I mean, if you look at Bigfoot, if you look, see, I don't think barrel crawlers are stupid. I think they're very smart. Very, I mean, I don't think they're not intelligent at all. They seem to know what's up. Um, Dogman seems to be intelligent. Now, some of the other creatures maybe not so, but they're more animalistic. I'm trying to say it right. Yep, man does make monsters now as well. Now, they've been screwing around with DNA for a while now. In China, God only knows what they're doing over there, to be quite honest. Hill giants from mythology were not smart. No, and neither were trolls. No, they weren't. So yeah, some of the Fae, trolls. What were the other ones? Ogres were not considered very intelligent. So yeah, the Fallen's children were monsters. They all killed. Yeah, and not only that, when things started going downhill, they actually started eating each other and turning on each other. So, and goblins, no, they're not very smart. Now, but you got to understand too, they're smart in their own little ways, because a lot of these, like goblins, they're kind of tricksters. So, but they're more like followers, not leaders. I'm just making sure, because I've been having problems. We had a pretty good solar flare here today, another X flare, big one too, and a bunch of little ones after that again. So if your ears are ringing and your brains are hurting, it might be why you might be sensitive. I think that's one of my main problems right now. So if you live anything probably around Minnesota and Wisconsin, up in the northern areas, check your windows tonight and the next couple nights. Also, while I'm on the subject, there's a comet right now heading for the sun, getting ready to do its round about the sun. If you can look at this, just at sunset, just before the sun goes down, and as the sun's setting, if you can block the sun out, that you should be able to see that comet, and you should be able to see it with your eyes, and you should be able to see the tail. Tail's huge. So that started tonight. No, last night, the 8th. Yeah, last night. And no, actually tonight. So if you missed it tonight, for the next couple of nights, it will only get brighter and be able to be seen. But you got to work around the sun, especially when it comes back around the sun. But yeah, it's a nice looking comet. And then there's one they call the second moon, which is just, it's not even the size of a bus. That's going to be kind of floating around for a while before it slings back out again. But they're calling it a second moon, and it's just, they do that to kind of stir up people. Hey, Latro, what's up? Yeah, I know. I saw that. I was watching both streams earlier while I was chilling. I hope you're good, Slotro. Man, there was like, wasn't it more than that? Or was it just 132? I thought it might have been higher than that, but I knew it was like 100. Somebody heard, so I thought somebody said like 140 something, but 132 sounds more logical. But yeah, I don't know. I hate to see what it's going to look like out in the morning. I missed landfall. That was the only thing, and I wanted to see how bad it hit land once it got on land. I'm sure it was pretty devastating. But thank God it kind of dropped a couple, at least a category down. A year ago today, they put me on life support, and man, it has been and it's going to be a tough year. But you're bouncing back, and I feel you, Eddie. You're coming back strong. Just use it. Watch the Kane impact. About 12 storm surge. I'm reluctant to use writings as a basis, especially biblical. The devil's greatest skill is deception. Well, that's up to you, Ryan. That's your view. You can be sure who was involved in rewriting certain forms of biblical. Well, I don't know. I don't know. You might want to believe that. That's up to you. But I think that stuff was left out. I think your Catholic Church is not all what it says it is. And, and it's not. It wasn't that stuff was altered, stuff was removed for the impact that, they didn't want us to know everything. And believe me, the good Lord knows what the devil's going to do on every move. He's already ahead of the game. I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know it's not just your view, but I mean, it came out of your mouth, so it is your view. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people believe that. That's fine. I might think more than anything, then it wasn't as altered as much as it was edited. And and once again, that goes back to the Catholic Church. So, because they oversaw a lot of those writings and handling of texts. God only knows what's in those vaults and the knowledge that's in those vaults. Because believe me, there's stuff down there that we probably have a right to know. I can never relate to the Old Testament. I was sent to the preacher's office many times for asking, hey, and there's nothing wrong with asking questions. I have no problem with that. The Old Testament is kind of rough because it's kind of like you kind of, God kind of changes his outlook once Jesus comes into the picture. Even though he always preached love and understanding, it was like, hey, man, but these people before the flood were doing some screwed up stuff. But, once again, that's my opinion. No, we're his greatest resource because we have the right. God gave us the right to make our own decision. He gave us the right to choose to believe or not to believe. Our job is to make the right decision. And yes, humans are easily influenced. Where most humans are. There are weak ones out there. Let's put it that way. But yes, I'm not knocking that. And yes, that is true too. Humans are God's weakness in a way too, because he loves and cherishes us, and he's, I know what you're saying, and I'm good with that. Oh yeah, I mean, you got to remember, Lucifer was one of God's right-hand man. He was kind of in charge of music and a lot of things up in heaven. He just got greedy and wanted to be like God. He wanted to be God. And then he didn't like the fact that he gave us the right to choose. A lot of them didn't. Yep. Sounds like a dragon to me. Yeah, he was. That's why in some biblical texts they refer to him as the dragon. He was, and he never would have brought a mosquito, man. Everything has its purpose. Some not so great. Thanks for all the bed bugs, Noah. Yeah, that too. There are some things, even though they have a purpose, some things just are not. Purposes are still unknown. Well, I'm sure some creepy crawlies are not wasn't intended for good, so. And why would God need to send a spy to see what the other tribe was doing? He wouldn't need it if he was all powerful and all knowing. Come on now. But it wasn't his job to tell us everything either. He kind of has this whole world he was watching. Why are we getting into the subject? Because Gemma's going to get mad at me for getting biblical here. And I can do that on my own channel over on Rumble, which is going to start in probably a month. I want to post a couple, like 3 videos. I got 2 done already. And they'll go up next month. I'd like to be up and running by November, by Thanksgiving. People do add to the Bible when they should. Well, that's when you come into your heretics and stuff. Because yes, but they don't add into the Bible, into the written Bible. Though I'll tell you what, I will say this, Ron. I've seen some New Age Bibles. I wouldn't call them New Age Bibles, newly printed Bibles that definitely have been, the wording's been altered in a way. You know, I'd probably, if I buy a new Bible, I'm still going to go look for an older King James version, even though it's still kind of, but it's more close to what I know. I was given a Bible, a New Testament, when I graduated and I was going to church. I didn't like that Bible. I just didn't, there was something about that Bible that just wasn't right. That when you looked at it compared to other Bibles, it was just things. Oh yes, but before that, you know, he was new to the job. You got to remember, it was kind of new to him, even though he's supposed to know what was going on before it happened. All authors embellish every, especially ones writing 5,000 years after the fact. It's about faith. Yep, that's it. It's about faith. As simple as that. A really chill dad. I kind of like that view. And you better not try that again. That's basically what he tried to do during the flood. He was like, hey, come on, people. What? He loves the smell of cooking meat. He wants all the people, animals killed. Nope, that's not my creator. Yes, there's, and that tells you right there in the, there's, he even gives food in the Bible. There's even foods that you're not supposed to eat. So a lot of them are bugs and stuff like that. Shellfish, you're not supposed to eat shellfish. And bottom feeders, to them, that's not pure food. They were meant to digest the gunk and the nestiness on the bottoms. They're like moving trash cans. We're not supposed to eat moving trash cans. And I agree with you, Edna, but unfortunately, that's when God, you know, but we were given the right to choose right and wrong. Unfortunately, there was also people like Ryan was saying that was easily influenced by Satan. And he offered them things that they couldn't resist. Thus, this is the shape they, you know. For every good, there is evil. You can't have one without the evil. I mean, one without the other. So yeah, for every good, there's going to be evil. Only certain things are going to correct that. I don't know. I don't have the answers. But I'm about ready to start story encounter time. Change the subject. But I love the subject. I really do. This is a great conversation. I just don't want to get too crazy here because it does mess with her. It does mess with her algorithm, and I don't want to screw with her algorithm. Sorry. I'm trying. Hello, lady, Blind Wolf. How are you? And welcome. I'm glad you made it. And welcome to the channel. You're new. I haven't met you yet. So, and I do the list on Friday night. So I usually pay attention to new people. So, and that's right. I don't know if Pixie's streaming tomorrow night while we're getting into this. So just keep an eye on your feed tomorrow. I'm sure we'll find out one way or another. So if Pixie doesn't stream tomorrow night, I might get on for an hour. I haven't decided. Or there might be nothing, but it's all up to Pixie right now. Then Gemma Friday night, 7:15. Oh, excuse me. And again, she'll be here at 7:15 Friday night for Oracles, Intuitive Oracles. Please join us, Lady Wolf, by Wolf, Blind Wolf. I'm sorry. That's when Gemma's here. And then Tuesday for Tuesday Talk at 1, she'll here too. So if you're around during the afternoon hours, ET time, Eastern time, it's 1 o'clock Tuesday for Tuesday Talk. Gemma's here. But she'll be here Friday night. Actually, since it's Thursday, tomorrow night at 7:15. She tries to start a little early. So if you get in early, when you come in, I write you down as soon as you come in the room because I keep the list. And if you don't want to read, just let us know. And I'll call you. And if it's your first time, I try to slide you up a little sooner. Then after that, you just have to wait in line. But the first time, I try to get you in a little sooner. So please come back Friday night. We'll love to see you. But welcome. I'm glad you made it. Now let me catch up on chat here. Oh, you're going to be on Paranormal Odyssey on November 9th? If you have the link, Ryan, post it. You can do that. So please go ahead. If you've got a link, post it. Oh, I'm not new. I've been a sub. I just haven't been on. Excuse me. You're going to see I'm not the greatest stalker. Oh, I'm not new. I've been a sub. I just haven't been on YouTube in a while. Oh, okay. I got you. Cool avatar. I hope you are past the hospital stays. I do too. Now I'm missing. Wait, I gotta go back. Been crazy lately with surgeries and just daily life. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt. Believe me, I've been there. I've got my scars. Believe me, I know what it's like. I don't know if it was a mistake, but I get you because there are times I'm thinking, I wonder if he's wondering the same thing as I am. Was this a mistake? But I get it. But no, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I've been through my share of surgeries too, hon. My prayers are with you. I'm just catching up with chat here. Yeah, this weather's nuts. It's messing with me too. I mean, between the solar flares, I knew it was a bad one because my ears all of a sudden this afternoon started ringing like crazy. And then my head started banging again. But like I said, they screwed with my eyes, and I haven't been a while. And it kind of throws me out of whack now with the Tourette's. I'm just glad they didn't use a strobe light. I'm noticing it's getting harder to play games now, too. Hope she's okay. Yeah, I got family down in Florida. Right in Clearwater, actually. So I'm hoping they're all good. I won't try to reach out until at least tomorrow evening because I know there's a lot of problems there. So good luck getting through. Just keep your prayers on them all. We'll be talking about Raven markers. When you go, oh, cool. Yeah. If you got the link, post it, Ryan. Okay, please. And you can just go back if it's already been put on YouTube. Just click it and then go up on the. Don't go to if you have like YouTube Prime Premium. Don't use that. Go to like Google YouTube and you'll get the stream link and just copy it in there. Of course, you should know how to do that. What am I telling you? Remind us when it gets close, Ryan. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah, I made that avatar. I thought it turned out pretty good. Got some medical Clarence, you couldn't have enough hands. You get advantages. Yeah. My nurses always treated me really good. I've had a couple of ones that I could have smacked around, but other than that, you have a wonderful mind, Ryan. I star, blah blah blah. She's just complimenting Ryan. No, don't worry about it. Just be careful. Zot. Yeah, I'm not worried about you too. They got enough problems. Right now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm watching all these paranormal channels, certain not just this topic, but other topics, struggling because they're just not. They've got everything so screwed up with the algorithm and them censoring crap, and they're even censoring crap on here on topics that shouldn't even bother anybody. But it's just crazy. They're getting greedy again, and now we're getting closer to the elections. I'm really surprised I'm not hearing the horror stories that we heard last time, but we'll see. Yeah, I did some ancestral stuff on my channel and did a hashtag, but man, that parrot reading drained me. It does. And if you watch Gemma at the end of the night, she's pretty hosed. But she likes to ramble too. And I like that because that's how she gets to know people, and she can, she likes talking to people. That's what it's about. I've seen too many of these channels that don't do that, don't really be a part of the chat. And it's hard for her sometime on Friday night. That's why she kind of does Tuesdays, so she can be more free about talking. And on Fridays, she's, just trying to focus on the cards and get through the list. But yeah, when I talk to her afterwards, she's drained. Yeah, she's done for the night. She just wants to get little man to bed and cuddle up. Yeah, she does. Yes, she does. Especially when it's been one of those emotional nights and she's getting stuff that she don't like telling people. It'll drain her. And it gets emotional. You can see that, sometimes she's really being tapped into. I'm not sure, Brian. She's been super busy. She has to re-record one video because she accidentally deleted it. But yeah, she's trying to get writing done too. She's trying to catch up and get ready for her new books. I didn't sub to a lot of paranormal channels anymore. I've seen a bit too much. Yeah, there is. Unfortunately, there is a lot of toxic toxic behavior and stuff. Yeah, and they get to fighting and arguing with each other, and it's sad because you're supposed to be working together, not against each other. Try it. Yeah. Ryan, you can text, messenger and let her know, and bring it up to her. Sometimes I forget. I get busy. We didn't talk a whole lot today because we've both been go, and I was, like I said, I'm trying to get stuff done. Get ready for the winter, and I'm almost there, and I got a good head start, but a couple weeks ago, and then I got sick, and it kind of screwed me up. Well, cryptic channels are part of the paranormal channels. So when I say paranormal channels, I mean everything, because that's all part of the paranormal community. The UFO stuff, that's all part of the paranormal community. In fact, that's how you'll find it in most categories, or entertainment. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on, a lot of stuff. I got in the middle of it once, and I said I was done. I didn't mean to get in the middle of it. Not to mention the fact that I'm getting really sick and tired of some of these paranormal channel, putting out a lot of misconceptions when it comes to witchcraft and the supernatural community too. But the jealousy raises ugly head. And yeah, it does. And that's not just all of it too, Edna. It's just they get frustrated because they don't want to believe, and then they argue about research and everything, and nobody wants to compare or talk about differences what they have. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad. And they get kind of big headed. I mean, I don't know why everybody just relax and have a good time. I mean, we're supposed to be working together, not against each other. Yeah, he has too. And Edna, I mean, Vixen comes in. She's like everybody else. She gets tired of it too. Gemma does. My favorite Fae are Cammy and Yoki. Get to it are pretty cool too, Chris. Yes, they are. And I agree with that. I never considered what I did as witchcraft. That's because they still use certain slang from old term witchcraft, and it's just stuck. Kind of a fan of Tengu as well. Yeah, now they're trying to link those kids getting murdered in India to witchcraft and tarot readers in the North pagans. Oh yeah, you're going to have that. It's kind of like the cult scare back in the 80s. And a real bad scare. They were really playing it up in the 80s. Everything was evil, evil, evil. But then again, you had a lot of reason to believe that because there was a lot of crazy stuff going on. I like Kappa. Kappa's an interesting one. Yeah, well, you delved more into the healing side of it, like what do they call those? Oh my gosh, ladies that they help give birth and stuff. Back in the day, they were also healers, and basically they were doctors in their day. They used more natural resources, but that's what you had back then, and it was more dependable. Yeah, they were just, and some of them weren't that beautiful either. It's just, jealousy. And then in some of those cases, it was just because somebody was flirting with the wrong person. But, and I agree with that too, lady. And they are kind of just, especially, here's my thing about, ghost hunting. Because I used to ghost hunt, and there's a reason I stopped ghost hunting. And a lot of it has to do with you got to watch what you call. And a lot of these guys get cocky now. I automatically think that everything they're hearing is true. Man. It's true. They may be actually talking to somebody, but it may not be what they are talking. It may not be who they think they are. A lot of these guys end up getting followed later. If something follows them home, I'm seeing that a lot more now. Well, we use protection spells. We prayed beforehand. Well, if something's going to follow you home, it's going to follow you home. And when you're calling stuff out, sometimes you call stuff out, it's not going to be what you think it is again. I keep repeating that. And then you get these guys that get cocky, and then these ones that, like, me and Gemma make fun about, every time you see a ghost or something comes up, you don't freak out and all run out. That's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, I am too, hun, but and I'm still looking into that story. I'm going to actually point that story out to Gemma because she'd be interested in that one. Might be something she might talk about. but I was able to bring all three of my grandchildren to work. Yeah, you did, didn't you? Oh, excuse me again. If you were, yeah, it didn't take much to trigger them back then, Chris. Not much at all. Being a redhead was dangerous back then too. What do you think the joke of um, gingers being soulless that came from way back then? Cartman will get the gingers, but yeah, they that's old stuff, old beliefs. It's figured if you were Irish. That we got. And we're sitting here rapping. It's almost 1 o'clock already. We've had some interesting conversation. Thanks for changing the subject early too. It's not that I didn't want to discuss what we were discussing earlier, but it does screw with Gemma's algorithm. So I want to be careful. And I am going to start a channel on Rumble. And it's just going to basically be like this. I'm going to just talk about anything and everything, not just the paranormal. They turned the, I know, I can't wait till I get my new glasses. They turned on the very women that healed them. Yeah, they did. In a lot of cases, they did. Generals have souls. They have freckles for each soul they've absorbed. That's funny. Now I know why Chris is laughing. I didn't even see that one slid by me there, Ryan. You're so mean. Everybody loves you so much you can take my job, Brian. I'll give it to you. I'll go about my merry way. Go back to my cave where I belong. Sometimes I feel like that's where I belong and I may go back. Yeah, I had to help someone that was in the community when she followed them home before and these people think so Sage is going to fix. Yeah, and it's not always the case. That stuff doesn't always work. I hate to tell them that it doesn't always work. And I try to tell these people. The guys were really bummed when I quit because I seem to be a magnet for that stuff, even when I don't try. And hey, Ryan Water, thanks for stopping in. I hope you hang around a little bit. Thanks for saying hello. Good to see you. And what makes me crazy is we talk about aliens, UFOs, and Bigfoot, but not God. Make it make sense. It's all connected. You know that as well as I do, Edna. Everything's connected. But they don't want to understand that. Everything's connected. How does it? It does actually. I don't know why, but it does when you bring up religion because they want to automatically, if you do it too much, they start putting you into the religious category. So yeah, it does mess it up. I've seen it firsthand with other channels, not kind of talking like spending a couple days talking about something or usually as their topic basis, and it does mess with it. And it's Gemma's rule, so and it's her channel. And if anybody don't like that, I'm sorry, but it is her channel. She gets to say. And same thing with the political stuff. The political stuff. Now, right now, if you talk political on like a channel like this, I guarantee you, my chat will not show up for a couple days. So scan it like 5 times before they'll even put it up to display. I've seen that happen on this channel. The YouTube, I don't know how much longer. I don't want her to quit her YouTube channel because you want to keep YouTube no matter what until YouTube either descends into madness. Now it'll be interesting because they're talking about splitting Google, and if they split Google, we'll see what happens with YouTube. Because YouTube's actually a part of Google. Yeah, I like Metatron too. I actually watch him too, Ron, Chris. I like his channel. I love his channel. Yeah, I subscribed to him a while back ago. I enjoy his channel. Yeah, that man's a smart man, well educated. I felt bad for his mom. Bless his heart. Go look up the story of Anne Glover, who was an Irish woman deported to the States. Deported to the States that they did was just evil. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Though the coyotes are howling again, I can guarantee it. It's because of all the craziness going on up there with all the solar storms and everything. It affects them too. It affects animals. You did have the recording turn out. I have to check it out. Yeah, I'll write that down. I'll go back and watch this, and I'll write that down, lady. I'll have Gemma check into it too, because she's always into that stuff. It's YouTube is yeah, right now in a day it was reliable. You know, you could get, even a small channel like this in the day would make good money. But because they got greedy, back in the day they only took maybe 10%, 15%. Now they're taking almost half. And it's ridiculous. And they take, it's not just the revenue off the videos, they're taking it off of streams. Now they're taking it out of your tips, which shouldn't be, you get tips, that should be all yours as far as I'm concerned. It's just like, restaurant business. When they started taxing tips in the restaurant business, I thought that was wrong. My ex was working for Bob Evans at the time and going to school, and it screwed her. That's why she does taxes now. She's an accountant now. Unfortunately, there, lady, there are some not so great Christians out there. And 15 years ago, you could make a score. These days, not so much. Yeah, not so much. And it's because of what YouTube has become. That's why a lot of people, you'd be surprised now how many people have gone to the other platforms like Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey, all of them, because you get a better chance. And now that X is allowing streaming and stuff, and you can almost do it there now. Once you do whatever you have to do to do it. There's a YouTube creator who is practitioner. He hasn't been live in months. He goes live in the first thing that's coming up is telling him he needs to repent. You're going to have that, but Gemma gets it too. Not as often as she used to. Yeah, it's not. Now there's when they shadow ban, it's usually political reasons. But what they do is like Gemma's channels and other channels like these, they just put them at the bottom. Unless you're watching them a lot, is the only time they're going to really show up in your feed. But yeah, I know people that's been shadow banned, and it sucks for them, and it's not fair because it's either political or something stupid. Somebody's complained about them that really isn't even watching the channel. And I've seen that happen too. Yes. No, I kind of agree with that, Ryan. I do kind of, but you would be surprised that there's a number of true Christians that don't celebrate Christmas that way. That there are true Christians that don't do Easter or Halloween. Everybody kind of thinks that Thanksgiving's a Christian holiday, and it really is kind of about the celebration of family and coming together. So that's why a lot of Christians will celebrate Thanksgiving. Most Christians will do that. But I know real, what I call real diehard Christians who don't, if they feel that, they need to say something, they'll say something, but it's usually in a calm, loving way. If they don't agree with you, they do it politely and with respect, but they don't celebrate Christmas with putting a tree up, and they don't do Easter or some of the what they call Christian holidays. Now they do. I know most of them do Thanksgiving because it's supposed to be the honoring of family and friends and coming together as one. Don't get Edna started. No, you don't want to get her started. It's more because YouTube violated these capital laws. Yeah, and that's true. And they're still getting in trouble for some of that too. Not to mention the fact that a lot of the people that have left have went to TikTok. They've either gone to TikTok. You'd be surprised how fast Rumble's growing right now. I'm seeing now a lot more variety in content. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, Rumble's conservative." Well, it started off that way, but you go look at the content now. There's something just about for everybody now, and it's getting bigger. The fact that you have to pay to live stream. Yeah, that's the thing about TikTok that I do know is you have to pay, or you have to have so many subscribers. I know that's one thing that Gemma was talking about was she had to have like 1,000 subscribers before she could live stream. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of those too, Ed. And I knew a few of those actually. And actually, a lot of them were Catholics, believe it or not. Well, I'll just go in Sunday and to do my Hail Marys and I'll be okay for the week. I've actually heard that come out of their mouths. And it's like, it's not how it works, dude. And I know some really good Christian Catholics too. But unfortunately, after the years of looking at the Vatican and what goes on, I was never big on the Catholic. I don't knock the Catholic religion, but there's a lot more to it than I think people realize. And right now, it's kind of looking kind of evil. So, they've lost their way many moons ago. Many moons ago. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in that Vatican now. It's real sketchy. I do with good reason. Well, a lot of the kids I went to school with either went to St. Michael's, they grew up in this neighborhood. St. Michael's Church is right up the top of the street, and it's a school too. And excuse me, my allergy medicine is like drying my lips. Um, and some of them didn't go to the St. Michael's. They went to Worthington with me, and it's funny to listen to their parents talk. It's like you go at Labor Day. They have a Labor Day festival that's all weekend, and they have a beer truck and gambling going on. And I stopped going because isn't that why Jesus got mad in the temple? Because they were having they were collecting taxes, they were selling in the church and all this. He kind of got greedy and he tore the temple up. Well, I go in and I see these Catholics doing that, and it's like, are you sure this is cool? So yeah. Actually, it's American holiday, but should go and look at what they did to the indigenous people on Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate it. Hey, Cindy Lowers. Yeah, I tell you, it's been a weird day, but I feel good, and I've been running around trying to get stuff done. But when I usually I try to relax before stream, and this was one of the rare chances I actually got to. Now I'm all finagled. Maybe I relaxed too much. Hello, Cindy, dear. How are you tonight? I hope you are well. Thanks for coming in. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, I'm happy because everybody's getting ready to do all their Halloween memes. Now next week, since we're gabbing tonight, next week, the 10th and the 23rd. Now I don't know if I'm going to stream because Wednesday the 30th is Hallows Eve. I would like to stream, and I'll leave that up to you, but I'm not going to bring that up until probably Gemma's replays. But I don't know. See, here's the thing about me streaming, and she's done some Halloween streams too, is the fact that it's one of my hardest holidays because of the things I see for the last 20 years. On the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st and the 2nd, I seem to get attacked. I don't know why, but I get attacked. And you'll see by the 2nd or 1st or 2nd, like last year I showed you guys, I had bruises all over me. And no matter how much I protect this house, how much I protect myself, because of the things I see, and I probably see things I probably shouldn't see, I get attacked. And it always seems to be the worst around Halloween. I don't get attacked really off and on during the year, but it's usually because something I've seen sees me, and only because I acknowledged it. In this case, about Halloween, I've always had problems for the last 20 years, and it drives me nuts. But all I can do is pray to get through it. And don't be knocking like here's the thing. All religions has their good and their bad. And as much as everybody seems to be attacking the Christians, let's not talk. Let's not forget about some other faiths out there, religions out there that are not so good either, and hide behind certain things and use certain things to what they call righteousness. So, these other faiths also attacked witches and everything too, and just as hard. And probably a lot more dirty, did a lot more dirty to people than, and it was all dirty. I'm not saying this, it was all bad. Yeah, StreamYard went up in price, but you got to have a streaming service of some type to, do YouTube or Rumble. You got to, they don't supply. Now, I think Rumble does now, but I'm looking into that. But yeah, you got to pay for it, and it sucks. But if you want a good quality stream, it's the best way to do it. Got their life taken down for nudity and no one cameras or get lives. Waiting for a panel. Hold on, I'm reading. I'm catching up. You guys are going to town, and I'm rambling. Yeah, this bias stuff. Yeah, because I see channels get away with some really bad stuff, and they don't get bothered. But somebody else does it, and all of a sudden, yeah. So it is. It's about money. It's all about money. Man, that pissed me off. Then when they went to remarry in the church, they wanted to annul all our marriage because we weren't married in the church. Therefore, in the eyes of God, yeah. See, that's I don't buy that either, and I believe I would have been pissed off too. And that is very true too, Cindy. Being a Christian doesn't always get you in heaven. You can be the most good person in the world. It doesn't take much to. It's all what's in that book, in your book of life. Every religion has guilt attached to it. Interesting, but true. I can imagine, Edna. I can imagine. Yeah, I would have been pissed. I would have been upset. Yeah, see, I've gone around with priests. You have to understand that. Thomas One of my best friends is a preacher. I almost became a preacher or a minister. And I've gone around with my share of priests, and because of things I see, and had some really good, intelligent conversations with the people that got pretty ugly because, they're, I don't want to get into it. They make it, they make things a little difficult. We had 2 children. I was married by my preacher at the ENCOUTNERS. We had 2 children after we married. I'm still pissed about. I would be too. My cousin had the calling. He's a preacher. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. No, I almost became a minister. I'd have probably been an interesting minister too, to be honest. But I was told I had a different path, and I took it. It's been a crazy one. I think that path has a lot to do with the things I see. I do know that I'm an observer, a watcher. And someday somebody's going to get in his head and is going to suck all this information out that I can't spill out half the time, especially now with the way things are getting from you physically. Religion is politics or a no-no. Yeah, I have to agree with that because right now both topics are so touchy. I mean, you bring up anything and people literally go crazy. And we're having a pretty decent conversation here. That's what I like. But again, it's, Gemma has asked us. No, right now we can keep talking because it's not getting out of hand. But there are people in this chat that would make a big deal about this conversation. Yeah, topics. I know what you meant, Sydney. I honestly know what you meant. Yes. And we try to keep it as much as loving and caring here as much as possible. I don't come in here and preach to you guys. And I try not to. I have my stance and I have my views, and no matter what people say to me, I try to be open and take in their information. I don't always agree with everything. And if it's something I totally don't agree with, I'm going to say something, but I'm going to try to be as polite as possible because that's my belief, my opinion. I enjoy listening to different views. It's important to do that. I'm a man of details and research. I look at everything. I look at everything. I'm like all the detail in the behind me. I see everything behind me. I even, somebody came in one night and said, "Oh, there was somebody standing behind me." Yeah, there was somebody standing behind me. Only because I allowed them to. This house is protected. It's surrounded. And I do that once a month. He doesn't know that, but I do. I have my reasons. Being behind this cemetery doesn't always, it means I have to kind of double down. Actually, I saw one of the guys leaving the other day, one of the cemetery workers. They usually fly up and down the street, and I've been yelling because we have kids in the neighborhood now. So I'm always afraid one of these kids is going to get hit because they do. They come flying in and go to work, and they fly out, and then they drive trucks in and out. And I've been asking them politely to use the cemetery road for the big stuff. That way you don't take a chance of hitting a kid, but they still do it. But the other day, this guy coming down the street, he was kind of going slow enough that I can look in. And there was somebody sitting with him, but they were really faint. And it wasn't a person. There was something sitting there with him, but he went by long enough. I couldn't get a pickup on it. So I don't know if somebody took a ride out of that cemetery with him or what. So I've been trying to catch him now to see if he's there when he comes back. But I'm usually busy by the time they come in to work in the morning. What you need to do is go and get yourself some tar water and a red brick dust and put the stuff around your house. I know what to do for me. I know what works for me. But thank you, Lady Brown. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I use salt. I get it. Everything is blessed. I protect it pretty good. The only time I had a problem, and it wasn't a really problem because it was something that comes to me anyways to talk to me, showed itself one night during stream. One of these Thursday night streams that me, Gemma, and Pixie used to do. I had a little visitation from her. I think she was trying to show herself because I talked to Gemma about the lady in the light. But when she showed up, she came in as kind of a black mist that kind of literally passes right in front of me. Actually, I thought it was my mom at first, and then I realized it wasn't my mom because my mom has been passed now 7 years, and she's just right down the cemetery here. And my little brother just passed not too long ago, and he's right down the cemetery now. He's one of the reasons I blocked because he did come here one night, and I think he was taunting Dad in his sleep. So I like doubled down on the house because I knew it was him. And Dad was fighting with somebody in his sleep, and that's the only person I could think of. And that was the only feeling I could get from it. So she accepted your agreement. I think, oh, excuse me. 1 second. Drink. Let me catch them on. Stop running my mouth to catch up on my chat here for a minute. How can we learn if we don't discuss things? Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And that's why I'm not really trying to. I'm just kind of hinting to be careful where we go with this. But I have no problem with these discussions. But it does cause some problems. So I try to keep it tame. But you guys are great. I mean, this is a good conversation. I have no problem with this conversation. And nobody else should either. No, I don't agree with everything that's being said, but that's fine. I like seeing this. This is why I'm letting you guys talk, and I'm just rambling, going in my 2 cents here and there. We would take a picnic lunch, and the men would mow and take care of the cemetery. Yeah, actually back in the day, that's what they used to do. Family would go and take care of the areas around their graves and help keep up on the cemetery. You don't get that anymore. And those guys down there, I know they make good money. I worked for the cemetery down there part-time when I was a kid. I made good money. Now they paid me on a table and they did me right. So oh, excuse me. A little silence here. Let my voice rest. Yes, I did, Cindy. I've finally been breaking my own rule, family only, but you guys are my family. Ah, thanks, Edna. I'm surprised. Are you accepting mine? Or you even offered? As you probably saw me went, no, I don't want that guy on my Facebook page. He's got killer crickets and carries the plague through the internet. Next thing you know, I'll be hearing Edna saying she caught the plague through me on Facebook. I was surprised too. That's funny. I still do, but once I'm gone, I don't doubt anyone else. Disrespecting kind of thing for me. Yeah, and that's what it goes. My belief is, I'm going to treat people how they treat me. And I try to, even the bad ones, I even try to treat them even better. Sometimes you catch more flies with sugar and honey than you do with the poop. So, I try to be as genuine as possible and honest and caring. I figured you'd curse me if I did. No, I wouldn't curse you. Not you. I wouldn't do that. I did not. If I did that, and then you'd come over here and slap me in the back of the head. So I wouldn't do that to you. But yeah, I think it's important to be open, you know. And like I said, I'm big on details. Now it's over the last way before I even started streaming with Gemma. See, sometimes I don't even know how I make it through these streams. I have been real lucky, and I've been lucky to catch it before a stream. That way, if I'm bad, I don't have to do the stream. Gemma's been very good and understanding about that, because there are some nights I can't talk. There are some days that I know that I should not be in this stream, just because of the way I'm twitching. And so, yeah, but it's important. I like being here and doing these shows. One, no offense to Gemma, this is sometimes the only time I get to talk to you folks, is these two nights, because these are Gemma's channels. She gets all to say. A lot of people give her crap about walking on me and stepping on me. I've even been called a simp because, oh, she walks all over you. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. She picks up. Hey, it's her channel. And she does what she wants. I enjoy being here with her. But yeah, I've been called a lot of things because a lot of people think she walks on me, and she doesn't. She doesn't bother me. It's kind of the rapport we got. If anything, I do these streams, yes, to help her. And it does help me. It gives me a vent to chat, a place to vent and hang out. It is kind of therapy for me. I get a giggle out of you guys. If it wasn't you guys, if I was getting a batch of different people every night, I would probably freak out. But Gemma makes me comfortable. You guys make me comfortable. You guys known me long enough. A lot of you guys have known me even before Gemma. So you know that I've got issues, and I don't talk very good, and I have bad days. So that makes it even easier on me to be a little more, relaxed with you folks. But yeah, it sucks because you guys get these conversations going. Ryan and Gemma gets these conversations going, and sometimes it sucks because I get all this information that I want to blur out, and it's like it doesn't always want to come out the way I want it to, or it just my mouth doesn't work, and sometimes it's a processing thing from head to mouth, and there's not much I can do about it now. 20 years ago, man, you guys would freak out the way I talked. And stuff that came out of my head. It's not so easy now. And I wish it was. And I kind of think sometimes God did that for a reason. It sounds awful, but I'm really not. I'm realizing now that even in these, when I sit quietly and Gemma and Ryan's on, or Gemma's with a guest, or when she's doing her thing on Friday nights, I think it's good for me just to be there and listen. That's what I'm supposed to do. And throw in my 2 cents when my mouth or my brain will allow me to do so. And I go by the gut. When I think it's time for me to say something, I'll say something. Because I enjoy these conversations. Believe me, these are great conversations. And if we were on Rumble, we could go nuts even more with this conversation. I would love it. I love listening to all you people's opinions and things. I mean, I learned a lot from Ryan. I've learned a lot from Chris Jarvis over the years. There's people that come and go out of this channels that I've gone over and checked out their channels and taught me a lot. So I'm always learning too. And I've done my share of research for other channels. So I have all that information, all the years that I research for stuff for my own personal gain. This is why I have the beliefs I have, is because everybody always says, this is my opinion. Research and form your own opinion and come to your own conclusion. And that's what I've always done. Plus, I've always been big about details. But I'm also a person that, believe it or not, I don't like being in the limelight. I'm not a limelight person. This still kind of freaks me out. I still am very nervous when I get on. I don't mind being here. I love being here, but yeah, this is, in a lot of ways, this is not me. I'm the guy that hides out in the background, always doing stuff in the background. So this, even after what, 2 or 3 years now, 2 years of doing this, I still feel uncomfortable. I never know when you're on Rumble. I don't know. I don't get. No, you won't. But I will make sure that when I do go, because my goal is to be on. I'm gonna do some stuff. I've got 2 videos that are just about ready to go on over there, and I want to do a third. Kind of introduce myself, and then I'll do lives. But I'm not gonna do a lot of them. I'll do like 2 lives a week or 1 live a week, and just talk like we're doing now, and vent. Because politically and socially and a lot of other things along with paranormal stuff, I have a lot of stuff I'd like to vent about, but I want to do it in my lingo, in my way. And I don't want to do that in Gemma's channel. That's not fair to her. Because I do have a lot of opinions and a lot of views. Some people I know that agree with me and some people that don't. And that's fine. That's what I love about it. Oh, but I am, and believe me, I get nervous. Believe me. Oh, you should see me before stream. At least like the last 10 minutes before I get on. I'm like, but it's fun. Yes, and I am always. I'm nervous now. I'm a nervous talker, even when I can't even talk. When they were working on my esophagus, and I couldn't talk there for a couple days. My dad was getting upset because I was just I walking around with a notepad and I was writing everything down. He goes, man, you write too much. Shut up. And everybody's got their opinions, and that's what matters. The only time I get upset at people is when they ask for your opinion and then they downgrade it. It's like, well, why'd you ask for my opinion if you're just going to hate on it in the first place? I listened to your opinion. You didn't see me hating on it. But yeah, I'm nervous now. I'm always nervous. When I get off of here at night, it's funny because what happens is I'll get up. I have to go back to a couple of videos and leave comments because I usually leave a comment. Thank you everybody for showing up stuff after the video. I usually do that about 10 or 15 minutes afterwards because when I get up, my first goal is to walk off my anxiety from sitting. 1 second. I should have grabbed something other than water to drink. Ooh, it's not doing the job. And that's what I love. But yeah, you would laugh after you see me sign off. I get up here. I usually go to the bathroom. And then I pace for a good 5 minutes. Because if I sit back down, I immediately, because I know nobody's watching, I'll start doing this. And it gets bad. I know. And people don't act like, they're like, why do you get nervous? It is, you do get nervous. I've seen some of the best YouTubers be a wreck before a stream. And yes, it is about the company that's with you when you stream that makes it so much more comfortable. I'm working on it, Edna. I've had a couple rough days. I'm not going to lie. But I am working on it. Yeah, because I do want to quit. And today wasn't a good day, but yesterday was a real good day. Yesterday I had 3. Today I've had probably about 5. But I baby them. What I'm doing, because you have to watch, because I start taking the medicine, and you're allowed to smoke while you take the medicine, but you want to cut down as much as possible and stay on that cut. But I had a couple things happen here at the house, and it kind of stressed me out big time. And I probably should have not gotten so stressed over it because I try not to get stressed over stuff, but I'm trying to get things done. See, you would love this house then, Edna, because my dad's bought some really good cigars lately. I got him some really good cigars. And he's got these ones now. Oh, man, I love the way they smell. Oh, man, they smell great. They smell some better than some of the incense and stuff and the palmetto and the palmetto, whatever it's called. See, that's another thing. When I'm done streaming every night, I take a little sage just to kind of cleanse myself, especially after I give encounters and stuff, or even think about them. But I have my own specific way of kind of protecting myself because I can't protect myself from the things I see. That's going to happen. I can't just stop seeing it. So I try to do what I can. But here's the thing, and people don't understand this, and I've said this before. People who have what I call sight, like Gemma and me, and there's a bunch of you that do too. But when you have gifts, when you use those gifts, no matter how much you protect yourself, it still takes a toll on you. And so, no matter what you're going to do, I think some of my issues is because of all these years of seeing things. Now, the Tourette's I was born with. We just wish I'd told me that, let's say 30, 40 years ago, instead of, going through all the different diagnoses and all that damn medication that I told them to stop giving me, which I won't take anymore. So I won't even take the Tourette's medicine. I take one, and then I have a backup one just in case of really bad moments. But after I did that experimental one and it killed me, I put a stop to all of it and just took the two I know works for me for bad situations. I have 4 other medications I take for like my esophagus and Barrett's disease, and one for my blood, for my diabetes, which is almost gone. I've got it so controlled. They keep telling me they're going to take me off it. I may just take it off. I may tell them if it's good next time when they do their check, I'm telling them I'm done. I'm done taking it. Done wasting my money on it. I worked hard to get rid of it. A lot of my diabetes was caused by actually a medication called Sequanil, which inflamed it. Even though diabetes is having a family, but it's on my dad's side. And I was clean for years, and all of a sudden I started taking this Sequanil. Next thing I know, I was diabetic, and I'm like, this ain't right. I even filed for that lawsuit against that company. Still heard nothing. I secondhand smoke every chance I get. Now, somebody said some things here and I missed. I've been nervous, okay. And lady, if you're still out there, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. Please come back if you're still here. We'd love to see you again if you haven't left. And if you're still here, don't be afraid to speak. You were holding a pretty good conversation. I still haven't picked up a cigarette since I had 2 stints of... Yeah, that's a wake-up call, though. My thing was I was doing great. I quit, got divorced. I did great for like that first year. And then I got drunk one night, and that was my first mistake, and I haven't stopped since. They almost Glenn fried me. Oops. The meds were also destroyed my gut. That's the problem my dad is having now. And his new family physician, because his old one passed, retired. I think he passed too, but he did retire. But anyways, he was like old school. She took him off his insulin, was probably the best thing they ever did after he had his episode. But his original doctor was having him given his insulin shot in his gut. And she said that's probably why his gut's all messed up, because that poor man's stomach. But for some reason, certain people in my family have like really bad gut problems. It's like my dad and my son, their gut problems are almost identical. The only problem I have is acid reflux, and I've got that tame. The only other thing I have is the esophagus. And heck, I beat cancer. I got to be careful what I say. I don't want to curse myself. Yeah, it's chilly here too. Before I started streaming, I went and checked on Pop, and he was all like covered up in blankets. So I cranked on the heat a little bit for him because he gets like me, he gets to shaking, and it's hard to stop. Good night, Ryan. You have a good night. And yell anytime. I'm around. I'm busy, but I'm around. Hopefully, we see you Friday night. Remember sometime to put the link in for your guest appearance, okay? And I'll talk to you probably over the next couple of days. Give me a yell. I'll give you a yell. And to give a rundown again for all you folks, I'm not sure about Pixie tomorrow night. I may, if she doesn't stream, I might stream for an hour. I don't know yet. We'll play it by ear. If she doesn't stream, or I may just go ahead and take the night off. Gemma's here Friday night, 7:15. Come early. If you come in early than that, and I write your name down, and I see you on there, like if you stop in during a day, just try to be there because that means you're going to get called sooner. If you're new, let me know that you're new, and we will move you up for the first time. And then after that, you hello, Vixen. How are you, hon? I saw you coming. I was just letting you say hellos. I just was talking about you. Lady Blind Wolf was in here, and she's a witch. You guys would have had a great conversation. She's actually was subbed. I forgot, it took me a little bit. And then when she got to talking, I started realizing. But she's just come back to YouTube after going through surgeries and stuff. I don't know if she's still watching, but you got to keep an eye on her. And good morning to you, dear. I hope you've had a good week so far. Let me wipe my mouth on. Like I do. Yeah, we'll see you around, Ryan. Yell anytime. And Cindy, you can yell at me anytime. I'm always around. I may be a little slow responding, but if it's during the day, if I'm slow responding, it's because I'm with Pop or I'm working. But I always get back to you. I always try to get back to you that same day. I need to get back with Lotus. She sent me a text. I need to get back to her. I need to get back to Edna, who sent me an email, and I haven't emailed her back because she said she was going to email me with stuff, and she never did. So, that kind of goes both ways. But, Edna, if you let me know if you still want to talk. Because there's a lot of stuff I'd be better off telling you face-to-face or in a conversation where we're verbally speaking with each other. I may be able to answer your questions because I talked to Patricia the other day, and she asked if we actually had talked about anything yet. I said, no, not yet. So let me know when. And Patricia, for a person who's never met you, is quite taken by you and your family. I've been hanging around with the twins, talking to them a lot on the phone. He left. Barry left for a while. I need to watch saying their names, but he's left for a while and then came back. His sister finally moved back to Ohio. I thought she was already here, but she was just staying with friends where she's back now permanently. So I have people to hang with again. I got to go down and see my buddy John. And while I'm down in Cincinnati seeing John, I want to see Chris. Yeah, just let me know. And that when's a good time. That way I know I'm free and I can say, hey, everybody leave me alone. I do this. Sometimes I have to do that during the day or whenever you can. So just let me know. We'll work out a time and a meeting time. Yeah, see, that's the thing here. And I have so much going. Well, it's not. It's just crazy because I get started, then I get interrupted. I get started, then I get interrupted. But I've got quite a bit done. Yard's almost done. Now I'll just be keeping up with leaves for the fall. We have a lot of trees, so the backyard literally becomes like a forest. Um, and just now I'm just working on indoor stuff. I have a few more bushes to trim outside that I have to trim up, and just keeping things looking nice. Cisco had a psychic on one night. When she did my reading, she said I almost blew her off the chair. I'd like to meet your friend. Oh, would you like to meet Patricia? That'll be interesting because Patricia. Do you watch the Dead Files, right? Amy is not. I met Amy when she was here in Columbus filming. She's not very sociable in person. I know why. I get why because she immediately starts picking up people and stuff. Patricia's kind of the same way. She sticks with her very small crowd. When she does do events every so often. And you talking about somebody taking like hours to prepare beforehand. She's one of these people. I introduced her to a friend of mine once, and she must have picked up. Well, he's no longer a friend because she was like, "Dude, you need to get away from this dude, man." He's like, "No," and she goes, "Watch, please warn me when you bring somebody I haven't met by." So, yeah, she was like, and she turned out to be right, by the way. But yeah, she'll probably meet you because man, she was taken by you guys. But I showed her that picture of all you. She was like, "Holy cow!" She goes, "Well, you want to know what her exact words were? There's a lot of talent in that family, a lot of healers," is what she said. I stay away from pharma. No, yeah, see, I don't do opiates. The only time I do painkillers now is surgeries, and I do a couple days beforehand so my body's used to it. Then I think the longest after surgery that I did painkillers, and that was because the one hip gave me a lot of problems afterwards, was 2 weeks. And after that, I was done. I don't like them. Oxycontin almost basically tore a hole in my life because I didn't realize how strong it was. And, it's hard to function when you are on that stuff. And, whew, that stuff was serious stuff. That was like taking 714s in their days. But taking a 714 and a sober in a day was like drinking a 12 pack by yourself in less than a half hour, is what it felt like. You just didn't have the hangover afterwards. That was the only other narcotic that I ever took in my life, and I didn't like them. Tried the Coca-Cola once and didn't like it because I'm already hyper. And it just gave me a headache and made my nose bleed. Now, I have wandered around with the little animals for those who don't understand what I'm getting at. And that was some very learning experience there. But yeah, I don't, pharmaceuticals now have become a thing that I argue with my doctors about a lot. You don't push these crap on me. If I feel like it's going to help, I'll try it and give it a try. But if I don't like any of the side effects, it's gone. Period. Gone. Because you take some of these medicines and then you have to take other medicines to take care of the side effects from the medicine that's supposed to be helping you. It's just all messed up. I thought it was just the women, but my boys, oh no, your whole family. You might be surprised about your hubby too. If you haven't noticed him after, I don't know how long you've been married, but He's got some gifts too. So yeah, it runs through the whole family. And they believe now, and you're gonna tell you what. This was like my little brother. I think my little brother had gifts. And I don't think he knew how to deal with them. But Kevin was an interesting kid. Um, he was always a handful as long as I can remember. But there had been nights when I was growing up and he was little. I would sit and listen to him hold conversations in his bedroom by himself. And I'm not talking like, somebody talking to them type of conversation. I'm talking, he was talking to somebody. And it was weird because sometimes I couldn't understand what he was saying. And that's when he was like 6, 7, 8 years old. 34 years you've been married? Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, my mom and dad, they've been together until she moved on. That's great. Yeah. Well, that picture you posted of him in the Facebook, I picked up on him too. Yeah, you're like a couple other families. A few years back, a friend of mine asked for a friend of his if I would come check out their house. They were having stuff. I get that a lot. Gemma gets it too. I don't know why, because I'm really not that type of person, but I do pick up on stuff. And I walk in a place and I pick up on it right away. So a lot of these guys, a lot of my friends know that. So he goes, I got a friend. They want you to come over and kind of check it out. And he goes, you can bring Thomas with you. I go, why? Is it really weird stuff? He goes, yeah, it's pretty weird stuff. So I go over and I meet these people. And as soon as I walked in that house, I could feel it. Turns out that the guy's wife is very gifted. I don't think she understood her whole life how gifted she was. But I guess all through her life, she had weird stuff. She always felt like somebody was watching her and always with her. 1 second. And after me and Thomas spent a couple days with her, we realized it was her. She saw stuff and didn't know how to acknowledge it. So she always played it off. She actually, the first night I met her, she said, I'm just crazy because I always see stuff. And my parents always said that, it's just me who, being me. And I always just thought, it's just my imagination. I had an active imagination. But no, you're actually seeing things. They're actually following you everywhere you go. They followed you all your life. What was happening was there was, from what Thomas and Patricia said, because they took over after I introduced them, Patricia and Thomas said that there was an entity that had been following her since she was a child. Apparently latched onto her somewhere at a grandparent's house. And it wasn't a bad entity. It was just attracted to her. And because of that, other entities would see that entity. And she just never always thought it was her imagination until she started talking to Patricia. And then when Thomas came over one night, she was telling Thomas some stuff. And that's when she started realizing, oh my God, it is me. And it took almost 48 years to realize it. And lost again. I thought it was just, and it wants me to take a bone death. Now, see, Vixen, I've done one. It's not bad. If I can fall and not break bones, I call it good. Yeah, I had to do a bone density test because I had bone cancer. And then they wanted to do a bone marrow thing. It's very painful. And then they wanted to test my kids for bone marrow in case I needed a bone marrow transplant. They would have to tap into one of my kids to see if they were. I wasn't going to let them do it because it's so painful. It is so painful. I would not put my children through that. So I just made them douse me down with tons of chemo. Yeah, it affected my life. And I actually think it kind of made the Tourette's worse. But I'm alive and I'm clean so far. But I wasn't going to put my kid. And a bone density test is not bad. They just go in there. It's like taking an MRI. And it doesn't hurt to have one if you think if you think you need it, take it. When my youngest was a baby, he would always look in the corner of the room and laugh. When he got a little older, he said it was 3 people who would talk to him and make him laugh. Aww. But it might have been relatives, ancestors, may have been watching over him. If he never felt threatened, I wouldn't worry about it. And it's done and over. And it didn't infect him, but it may have anyways. He did this from an infant till around 4 or 5. Yeah, and you notice, you're gonna really know. My granddaughter, Rebecca, Ashley's daughter, she would have full-fledged conversation with her. Her dad is EJ. He's the one that got to hang out with Jelly Roll tonight because they're friends. They were actually best friends. They're actually best friends. Anyways, that's his daughter through my daughter. Through my daughter is his daughter. Rebecca is very gifted. So I think she has a hard time. But I would sit. Now, she chilled out after she started turning about 7 or 8. But up to about 5 or 6, she would have conversations. And she would tell you, I'm talking to Grandpa. I'm talking to Pawpaw, Papaw, or whatever they called him. And I was never concerned because I always picked up when I go in and kind of check on her. I never picked up anything bad. I felt a relative. I felt an elderly person there with her, and it didn't feel bad. It was like comforting kind of feeling. And then one day she just stopped, and that was probably about 7 or 8, 8 or 9. It was about when she was about 8. It just stopped. Yeah, the storm is going to be there for a while because it's got to go over the land. I'd say, from what I was seeing, I haven't looked in a while. It will probably pass over in the next few hours. It's probably almost there. It moves slower over land because it kind of kills it. But I can only imagine what we're going to see in the morning. Like I said, I missed the land when it first initially made land. So I missed all that. So I gotta. But by the time I tuned in, it was just about midway through Florida. I guess it tore up the one field, tore the roof off of one of the fields in Tampa, around Tampa. Yeah, it probably, as it went to about the middle of, in fact, when I looked just before stream, it was down to a category 2. It will probably, once it starts heading back over sea, it'll probably pick up strength for a little bit. Let's just hope it doesn't shift and go back toward land and keeps heading straight out to the open waters, which is what it's supposed to do. But they predict these things. But as far as I'm concerned, hurricanes are kind of like tornadoes. They have done. The only thing about hurricanes is there's a lot more environmental factors involved, just like a tornado. I've watched tornadoes make 90-degree turns. Just make a 90-degree turn. Hurricanes don't do that too often. Their paths are pretty much set, but I've seen weirder things happen. That's what I thought at times, Ghost. It was my mom and dad and granny. Yeah, I think you're going to be surprised that some of his family may have it too. Some of your husband's family may be gifted too. My grandma Bowen, my mom, was my grandma Bowen, or my mom's mother, wasn't really my mom's mother. She was her aunt. My mom's mom died when she was, my real grandmother died when my mom was like in her teens, I believe. She keeps it pretty quiet. So I never got to really know that part of the family. But my grandma Bowen, she was very superstitious to all people from Appalachian Mountains in Kentucky and Tennessee, all those people from down south. Same thing with my dad's family. But my grandma Bowen, wow, some of the stuff she's the one that told me a lot of Fae stories when I'd go visit her and stuff. Um, my great grandpa Griffey, man, he's the one that rode the railroad track. Man, he had some stories too. He would make trains stop to go fishing. It was hilarious. I thought he was joking until the other family members go, "Yo, yeah, he'd make the train stop. Passengers would get out and give out fishing poles, and they all sit around and fish for a little bit." One winter, I fell out of my nephew's truck and hit my head and some of the metal. Oh man, now you know that hurt. I fell once on ice, man. Split my head. Got hit by a rock when I was a kid. Some kid threw a rock over a cliff. They knew I was down there. They were doing it on purpose, but I don't think they expected to hit me. And it hit me. And I have this big hole gash in the back of my head. Well, I fell in the driveway once on ice and it busted it back open. My nephew left Florida on Monday. We called to say come home, and he was already on 70. There you go. Yeah, I think a lot of people got smart this time, especially with what happened with Arlene and Fia, and now they're saying a lot of stuff is misinformation and stuff, but I don't want to get into that either. But I think people in Florida, and I will say DeSantis is on the ball. I mean, he is on the ball with the whole thing. That's why you didn't hear much about Florida as much as you did about Georgia and Tennessee and North and South Carolina. North Carolina, those Appalachian Mountains got slammed. I mean, and those hollers, like I said, I have family I don't even know. And we have family down in Florida. Dad has family down in Florida. My little brother, his ex and his kids are down in Florida. They all lived in Clearwater. So I hope they got out and are safe. So, yeah. I don't know if it was a man-made storm, but there is some talk about maybe them helping it along. Oh, that's always going to be a conspiracy. Though I've seen patents for these weather control capsules and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, but we're talking deep conspiracy there because you're never going to be able to outright prove it unless somebody actually got pictures of them doing it. They've been warning us for, well, you know what, Edna? The poles will shift again. That is a known fact. But everything's locked and ready to go. The San Andreas Fault and the whole fault line along the California coast is all locked and ready to go. It could literally go any minute. Yellowstone, even though they'll tell you, oh, it's got a couple thousand years before it will blow. That's not true. It's locked and pretty much ready to go too. A lot of faults on the other side of the line of fire. There are a lot of volcanoes that are locked and ready. In fact, there's volcanoes going off now. So, yeah. And the warnings are gonna. The only warnings, the early warnings back in 50 years ago were that warnings, and people didn't listen. Some of it is caused by us or our attitude to the earth. Some of it is the earth earth goes through a cycle. Sun goes through a cycle. It's all connected. When the earth and the sun go through cycles, We go through those cycles. Some people call them seasons, and they go through seasons. And we're affected. We feel it. Once again, we go back to everything's connected. Yeah, and yeah, I try not to get too much in that conversation because they're literally attacking people now for anything you say against FEMA and other things about what happened. And they're outright calling it misinformation and stuff when we know it's not. So I'm not going to push that subject too much here. Again, not for Gemma's sake. But yeah, there's a lot of BS going on. And I agree with you there. What time we got? Are we after 2 o'clock? I bet you. Yep, after 2 o'clock. Even though I didn't get to tell any counters tonight, I'll make sure I do that next week because I do have some I want to tell now that we're getting closer to Halloween. And like I said on probably either Gemma's replay or for Tuesday talk, I'll ask you folks if you want me to stream at midnight on Halloween's Eve. It will depend also on how I feel. I do have some hard times doing that. It's not like an emotional thing. It's just I literally get attacked. So I want to be careful. I don't want to have more bruises than I usually have. And hopefully it won't be as bad because it wasn't too bad last year. I was actually pretty lucky last year. I mean, I've had some spans over Halloween's where over the last couple of years, I'd wake up and my arm would be covered in bruises or it looked like somebody took a cigarette and burnt me. I actually woke up one year and I had looked like a handprint on the side of my face, but I never felt anything. I woke up with it. I used to have that on a picture on a DVD, on a CD-ROM, but I can't find the CD-ROM, and I don't have. I'm gonna have to get a CD player for my computer, an independent one, because I do have CD-ROMs with pictures that I finally found of some things that's happened around here that are kind of funky. I actually have one where a tree had fallen on our neighbor's house behind us, and I took pictures after it happened because I watched the tree fall. I was actually looking out the back window, and we had one of those little straight line winds come through, and it literally just the tree direct behind me fell on his house. And he was actually in the garage working. A big old limb went straight through and missed him, like he said, about that much. But I'm taking pictures in his backyard, and there's a picture of this blur, but the picture before it and after it doesn't have it. And it literally looks like something's coasting. It's just a blur, but it literally looked like something was coasting up their roof. It was kind of wild. And I want to show that and a couple other things. So I'm going to go get a CD-ROM that I can hook up to my PC so I can show some of this stuff. Even the DMV sent men. Yeah, everybody was sending people. I bless their hearts. And I will say this about this country. We may be divided right now, but when it comes to stuff like this, we pull through. We show our best sides. I think we're just tired of helping everybody else, that we need to start focusing on our own right now. Well, it's, yeah, and Southern people are known for that, but I'll tell you what, I have neighbors I don't like, but I'll tell you what, something happens, they're the first ones at your door. Are you okay? Do you need anything? So it's everywhere. It's Americans and all over this world. There are good people all over this world. Except you just see it more because it's more pronounced here. I could say a lot about the subject, but I won't. Yeah, and I agree with you, Cindy, but only because it's Gemma's channel, and they are literally another guy I watched who was talking about stuff and actually was showing pictures. They made him delete the video. They banned him Well, I don't know if they call it bandit, but he can't stream for 2 weeks, which is bullshit. But that's what they're doing. So I don't want that to happen to Gemma. This is her channel. If it was mine, like I said. And then one reason I will do my own channel is because I want to speak more freely. I'm a little bit more vocal. And maybe I'll have Gemma on that channel once in a while because she is very vocal about certain things too. It's hard to do it here on YouTube. And I don't want her doing it on her platform because she cherishes this. She's worked hard to get where she's at. And I don't want it to go anywhere for her yet. Yes, and it is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, and I totally agree with you, Vixen. And I will say, after what I've seen since Helena and a couple of things before that, my daughter lives in Kansas, and she's real close to the tornado belt. She is amazed how people come to each other's aid. When she had her fire, not only everybody on that base was right there helping them, but people outside the base in the town not too far from them was there helping them, make sure they had clothes. Now the kids got new bikes, they had food, she had diapers for the little one. They took care of her. Same thing here. I've seen it when we had our fire. We had people that we'd come home to check on the house and stuff, and people would bring us food to take back to the hotel. The people I don't agree with, but who were respectful because they knew Dad has been in the neighborhood forever, and they respected that. Yeah, unfortunately, and then there's some people out there that are not awake enough to see that they are dividing us. And then you're going to have, and it's like we were talking earlier about influencing people. There have been just too many people that have been influenced and brainwashed. And it's going to take a lot to get them to come back. And they're going to have to want to do that themselves. We can only do so much. Sorry about that. Yes, Cindy. And actually, I've seen a lot of the patents are on the deep web. You can find those patents. So, yeah. But it's still a conspiracy theory because it doesn't exist. Though everybody knows it does. It's like HARP. HARP was designed for that reason too, but I don't think people realize that. They stopped using HARP once because it literally caused a major problem. And what I'd have to do is do a little whole stream on that alone. Well, they used HARP once and it caused a major problem, killed a lot of people, and they stopped using it because of that, because they didn't want people to link that with what happened, but that's what happened. I shouldn't say to use the K word, but offed a lot of people. Oh yeah, Bill Gates won't make anything, but he thinks he's above it all, so he talks openly a lot about a lot of things. And that's another man you should not trust. Because if he had it his way, you would be eating bugs. He is buying farms and using those farms for cultivation of crickets and edible bug, what he thinks is edible bugs. Unfortunately, I don't care if you use the cricket meal or not. Cold hard fact is insects carry certain parasites that cannot be destroyed even after they've been cooked off. That is a fact. But Bill Gates, oh yeah, he wants you to eat bugs and he wants you to take those shots, even though he's not a doctor, even though they say he's a doctor. Now I got to be careful what I say because I'll get carried away and get her in trouble. I don't want to do that because you'll get me going. So that's a lot of it too. Is I don't want to get me going because those are the two subjects: religion and politics. And not as much religion because I'm really carefree about the religion, and I You know, I think most of you folks know that I'm a Christian, and there's definitely things that I believe. I'm not going to preach to you unless I feel like you're really in danger and your soul is really damned to hell. And then I might preach to you a little bit, but God gave us free will. I can give you my thoughts and hope that it helps. The rest is still your choice. Yes, crickets. They are actually, he bought 2 farms that are used for cricket breeding to make cricket meal. And if you start reading a lot of companies are replacing cricket meal with flour and corn flour. So you need to start reading your ingredients. I don't know what kind of crazy word they're calling it, but they are replacing a lot of flour products with cricket meal. We've already lost healthcare, Vixen. I'm taking any, and you don't want to go to socialist. You don't want to go to social medicine. Canada. I've been all go to Canada and get free treatment now. Go listen to people in Canada talk about trying to get to see a doctor. It's like a nightmare. Mm-hmm. In fact, I have friends in Canada that they'll tell you healthcare sucks there. Mm-hmm. Not the greatest. Let's put it that way. But I could be wrong because I don't live in Canada. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Yeah, I'm going to call it here pretty soon, so I'm glad you made it in. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it to 2:30 because I wanted it over a little longer than I wanted. I want to get up early tomorrow. I got a few things I want to get done. I kind of slept in this morning because I had to get up early the last 2 mornings to go do a card thing, and I had to take care of a recall. Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Then yesterday, Tuesday, now it's Thursday. I had an eye appointment. And then today I just kind of worked all day. I slept in a little bit. We're doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to rock tomorrow because like I said, I get to the point now where, like in the summer, I got to a point where I could just cruise through now and just do cupkeep. Well, I'm almost there. If I wouldn't have gotten sick, I probably would have been a lot better if I wouldn't gotten sick those 2 weeks. I'd probably have been there by now. Now let me read some here. I'll tag you into a post on Facebook on this instead of here so I don't get into this. But yeah, actually you can just be careful there too, Cindy, because they're cracking down on there too. Even though Zuckerberg says they're changing their ways, now they're still having a problem with people, getting all hippie. Harp, I wouldn't Google harp. Your best place is to go like DuckDuckGo or something and Google harp, and look up harp. I don't know if Google might give you the information you need. It probably will. Harp is very interesting. If you don't know a whole lot about harp, check it out. They say they don't use it anymore, but it's a known fact they are still using it. And there's more than one harp station. Now there's the one you'll read probably more about is the one I believe it's in Alaska. It is in Alaska, but there's more of them scattered throughout the world. It's an antenna-based system where they feed electrons and electrodes and all that into the sky. It's an interesting concept, and apparently it works. But it seems to do more devastation than it does anything. I did the mail and voting. I did my homework. I didn't listen to what they say. I look at how they vote on the issue. That's the way to do it. Yeah, they are all over the world. Me and Dad are going to go and vote early. Especially since they just nabbed the guy that was getting ready to do a major no-no on the voting day. And I think people need to be aware that The closer we get, the crazier we're going to get. Things are going to get. That's a lot of it, Edna, is a lot of these things that they do are them trying to play God. It is exactly what they're trying to do. When you mess with nature and the nature of things, you're trying to play God. Yeah, you'll find a lot on TikTok too. Yeah. Too bad Telegraph are going to probably be around too much longer because they're trying to shut it down. But I did a lot of research for people on Telegram that exposed that they were real diehard conspiracy guys, and they were good channels because they were able to prove a lot of stuff and show a lot of stuff. Now it's getting shut down because of the bad things that go on Telegram, the not good things that deal with children and bad things. I understood, but still there was people on there that was trying to warn people even there. But now they're going to be affected by the bad things, the really bad things that plagued that channel. Well, thank you, Edna. There are more than 3 facilities of HAARP in Alaska, 1 in Norway. Oh, yeah, there's actually, last time I looked, and that was probably on the dark web, that was probably 2 years ago, that they had counted 6. One at each one of the places you were talking. And yes, I believe there is 2 in Alaska. And there's 1 in Russia, 1 in Norway, there's 1 in Puerto Rico. I believe there's 1 in Spain. I also believe there's 1 in Germany, not too far from somewhere in Germany. I believe there's also 1 not too far from Switzerland, from the Hydro Collider. But I'm not sure about that one because some of the ones I read about didn't obtain a whole lot of proof. But I do know there's more than 3, and they are scattered throughout. I believe there's even 1 in Antarctica, possibly 2 there. It cracks me up. I tell people I go to the dark web and the deep web, and they like freak out. I go, dude, if you're going to look for the bad stuff, you're going to find it. And you're not going to want to find that bad stuff. And you could find almost worse stuff than that on the regular internet right here than you can on the dark web. Like a lot of them are honeypots anyways. I have found some of the crazy. I found cookbooks on the dark web, just regular cookbooks. Old stuff from like my people have put their my page on dark web. There's sites that literally pop up in a day, and you go back to look for it, it's gone. So yeah. But if you're going to go looking for the bad stuff, you're going to find it. And you can do that right here on the regular internet. You would not believe the crap and the scariness that's just on the regular internet because it's here too. Yeah, that Ganoka, is that how you say it? One in Alaska is the main one. That's the big one. But yeah, those the HAARP stations are very interesting, and they can do a lot more than what people think they can with them. I believe, it'd be interesting because I would hope they would never run one of these while one of these solar flares are hitting, because I think they did once and it wasn't a good outcome. So yeah, and we're getting slammed right now, and I think the sun is going to get more active with this comet getting ready to make its trip around it. And like I said, folks, started tonight or Wednesday night, right? Yeah, yesterday was the 9th. Today's the 10th. Go out at sundown, just before sunset, and you have to be careful because it's right by the sun, so you got to kind of block out the sun But you should be able to see that sucker and its tail. And as the next few days go on, it will get brighter and brighter. But like I said, it's going to be real close to sunset. Be careful looking for it, okay? But it will be it's going to be an amazing sight. And then you got all the solar storms going on. And I believe that a lot now is why the sun's got active, is because it knows that this is pretty good ones. It's pretty good size comet. So it's going to make the sun react. But how do they turn on their own people like they are saying? Well, that's once again, that's good and evil. There are just some people out there. The good old, I shouldn't say good, the devil got to before they were born. There are just some people that are sadly to say, born bad. The 11th is my dad's birthday. My dad's 15th. Oh, okay. I'm going dark sky camping in PA. I can't wait. There you go. In PA. I'll tell you what. When we were down in southern Ohio, down in Logan, and they tore off those lights down at that cabin, it was just amazing how much you could see. It was just like, holy crap. I forgot about those days when I was growing up and there wasn't as many lights, and I was down at the farm in New Lex, and you could look up and just see billions of stars. Yes, it is a place for the Thunderbird. Actually, it's been 2 years now, but 2 years ago, this guy was telling me a very interesting story. I've been trying to, and I still keep doing every so often I'll go back to it. He talked about in North Ohio. I would be I think he said south of Seneca. Him and his family saw this huge bird, and he said it was flying toward the lake. But he said whatever this bird was he said it was high up, but it was huge. He said that thing had to have been bigger. The body had to have been the length of a bus, and he said it was huge. And he knew other people were watching it with him because other people were standing there watching it with him as it flew over. And he said when it went over, it literally casted a shadow over them. But he gave me names, but I can't get a hold of these people. And I've been trying for 2 years. I kind of gave up, but every so often I keep listening to see if anybody else brings it up. So I don't know if it was just a story or if it was legit. I'm not going to, because I knew the guy, and he has had some weird stuff happen in his life too. So I kind of take for what he said was probably true, but I just can't find anything else on it because you just don't have something that big fly over in the middle of the day and nobody else see it. But he said it was flying in the direction of the lakes, and like I said, that was like 2 years ago. Now, when I was Colorado in Estes Park, there was I believe he was Mexican, was telling me a story about how he was up in the Rockies and him and his family were watching these huge birds. I said, are you sure they weren't condors or something? He goes, no, these things were huge. He goes, I'd never seen a bird that big flying around this one mountaintop. And he said it was almost bigger. If it would land on the mountaintop, you would see it because it's how big this bird was. And he said it was two of them. And they said it looked like there was a smaller one. And he said he asked around some of the native people that still live in the area, and he said they were like, yeah, that's Thunderbird. They like to hide in the mountains. They have nests up there. How come you never see any huge droppings anywhere, you know? That's where I am in Fayette County, PA. Oh, okay. See, I've fallen behind on chat again because I'm rambling. I was thinking yesterday I could remember my dad's voice. It made me cry. Oh. See, it makes me kind of sad because when I know mom comes to check on dad, she's the only one I kind of let slip through. But there's that. At first, they kind of argued. I know that's what they were doing because he was having these really bad nightmares. But now it's not so bad, so I let her come back through. But I know she comes and checks on him, and I just feel sad because they had a lot that they didn't, clear up before she passed. So I know there was some kind of unfinished business between the two. I've seen birds so big they leave shadows. Yeah, see, and I have too. And some of them have just been old buzzards. We have this crow in the neighborhood, and it's not a raven; it's a crow. She must be like the mama of all these crows around here because she's huge. I mean, she's probably at least 2 foot big. I mean, she's big, and I mean, I've never seen a crow that big. But when she comes around, they're all around. In fact, when I feed them, when I go out in the morning and feed them, they won't land until she comes and lands and starts eating. Wasn't there a pic of a supposed Thunderbird captured in the 1980s in PA? Yeah, and there's a couple of those pictures that are really AI, but there apparently are pictures. Actually, there's supposed to be a real picture. Now, there's a picture out there of them, I think, holding a pterodactyl. It was like during the Civil War, but I think that's AI or fake. But there is supposed to be one out there, but it's not a pterodactyl. It's like a big, huge hawk that they killed and are holding. But I have yet to find the picture, and it's supposed to be real. But this thing's supposed to be huge. I mean, it's just like the pterodactyl picture you see. There's like 5 guys holding one wing. Yeah, that one with the pterodactyl. Yeah, I believe that is fake. A lot of people believe it's fake. One guy said it was done with. It's been out before AI, so there was probably still used graphics to do it, but I've seen the picture 1,000 times, but what you need is the original. And once you have that original, you can really tell if it's legit or not. Yeah, I don't think anybody can find the original either. I know I've looked for it. I've looked in almost all of the databases. So yeah, I have to agree with you. I don't think anybody has found the original. Good luck probably doing so. My owl is taking up residence. He hoots every morning and sits on my fence. I told you he'd be back. It's a female. So there must be a male close by. I believe that when it comes to you, is a female. And I haven't even seen it. Ron, I swear there's one that flies around up by John. And it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that's the thing that, this is one cryptid you do not hear a whole lot of people talking about is the Thunderbird. It gets brought up every so often, but you don't hear a whole lot of big talk about that. Now, what'd you say down there, Chris? They've been looking for it since the 20s. Yeah, I know. I think actually longer than that, but yeah, probably about the 20s. That's like somebody was trying to dig up all the pictures of all these giants that they have found in all the mountains. There was tons of pictures. You find one here and there that are legit, but you can't find the rest of them. A lot of people say that A lot of those pictures had been confiscated by the Smithsonian, which wouldn't surprise me, since they kind of disappeared a lot of those bodies. I'm going to look for a nest. What kind of owl is it? Is it a barn owl or great white? I call them great whites. The big white ones. I love them. Snow owls. Up around the stone quarry. Now that wouldn't surprise me. I bet they are still there. Oh, they probably are. There's Chris Jarvis. Yeah, he's here. He just hangs around in the background. I'm sure he's watching his shows too. But I'm glad he came back in. How about that kid that was? Oh yeah, and it's funny because you see that in a lot of television shows. They talk about that incident where the kid was running and Lily picks him up. A lot of people said that was a fake story, but a lot of his family says, no, it really happened. His mom had to grab a hold of him and pull him off, try to pull him down, that it almost took him away. Actually, I believe that's a real, actual event. I believe it really happened. When he would tell the story, you could see it in his face. He was scared. It scared him. Ivan T. Sanderson claimed to have given the Thunderbird pic to Frank Reeves. Oh, really? Interesting. It's amazing how stuff disappears when people find stuff. And that's like that little alien creature that they found in Russia or somewhere, and the picture was being passed around, but apparently people had been looking at the actual body, and it just up and disappeared. It was supposed to be shipped to Russia or something for testing, and gone. There's one of a fairy too that had the same thing happen. This guy supposedly had a fairy body, and it was gone. Once they took it for testing, it disappeared. Frank lost it somewhere when he was looking for the Thunderbird in PA. The Appalachian Mountains have been forever. Well, it's like the Rockies, These things, both sets are very mystical places. Just like a lot of other areas like that around this world. Appalachians, though, the Appalachian Mountain, the whole mountain range, it's very interesting, very old. But I don't think it's as much as about the age, about what's hidden within it. Because there's a lot of things hidden in the nose and in the Rockies. It's just you don't hear about the stuff at the Rockies as much as you do about the Appalachian Mountains. Because some of that stuff that comes out of the Appalachian Mountains is just pure terrifying. Just terrifying. What time we got? Probably 2:30, right? 2:39. Oh, folks, I hate to cut this short, but I gotta go. I want to get comfortable, get Nancy. Folks, this was just an awesome conversation. What a night. I would have liked to have told some encounters, but I love it when we go on these conversations. It's awesome. Maybe they are some kind of flying dinosaur. Now, see, that's possible too. I don't believe that dinosaurs were totally wiped out by a huge comet. I think there's a lot. Some of the stuff they tell us is not, let's just say, not the whole truth, and maybe exaggerated. But Chris is good at that subject, so he's the one you really want to talk about. I think dinosaurs might be coming through the snare a small time, which is possible too, because I've heard that theory. I'm trying to get off, and these guys will get me talking again. And Chris, I think that's highly possible. Good night, Cindy. Yeah, I'm going to go. Folks, I'm going to call it a night. Who knows what's beneath? Oh, and that's another thing. You don't know what. I don't believe I believe, I believe, but I don't believe in the hollow earth. I don't believe hollow earth is like what a lot of people think, that the earth is hollow, and kind of like what you see. And I kind of believe what you see in King Kong Skull Island and the Monarch, where it's like caverns, and then there's a side, but there's still a core. There's Nightmare. I thought you went to bed. I even said good night to you. Thank you for showing up and saying good night. But yeah, good night, everybody. This is a good conversation. And after Gemma's replay, if you want to pick it up, or Tuesday talk coming up, please. And if I get on tomorrow night, we can hold this conversation. If Pixie doesn't stream, I may get on. We'll have to play it by ear. Tell you a bedtime story. Now it's late, Edna. You waited to the last minute. Next week, because I got to give encounters. I got all these ready to go. I've been organizing them in my head for too long. And then we were having a good conversation, so I wasn't going to, when we have good conversations, I let the conversations go, because that's what this is about. But yes, I let the phone ring. But yeah, and I promise next week. And if you come in Saturday night, maybe I'll give you one Saturday night. You waited. You should have said something sooner, woman. You're so mean to me. No, I'm not. Quit saying that. Now you're making me feel guilty. But I want to go. You should have said something sooner, woman. I love you, but next time sooner. No, next Wednesday, it's definitely going to be Encounter Day. Folks, have a wonderful. I may stream tomorrow night if Pixie doesn't. We'll see how it goes. But let's hope she does. But that's up to her. Friday night, 7:15, Gemma, interpretive reading. Oracles. We'll just say oracles. 1 second. Oracles Friday night, 7:15. If you show up early or get your name on during the day, I usually start writing names down anywhere between 5 and 6. Just so you know. But if you're going to be in early, just say hi early, and you're going to expect to be on there, I'll be calling you. But I'm pretty good about holding you too when you come in. Saturday night, I'll be here for Gemma's replays as long as nothing changes. I know you are, honey. Dang it. I'm getting dry. 1 second. Saturday night, Gemma's replay. She should have her Monday video posted for her 11 o'clock video on Monday. And if she does, I'll also show the thumbnail for that on Saturday night for Gemma's replay. Sunday, rest day. Monday, Gemma's 11 o'clock video. I don't know if she's doing 1 or 2. Right now, I know of 1. Tuesday talk at 1 p.m. ET time here on Gemma's channel. Be me, Ryan, and Gemma. And then Wednesday, me again. This time we're doing encounters. I had a good night tonight, though. I love these conversations. That's why I let them go. Everybody, I'm sending you an evil cricket ghost. You're going to hear it from him around 3 a.m. You know what? And I probably sleep even better, because that's one thing I miss. When they eat the crickets, it gets quiet. And then they get the chirping because they get hungry, and then that makes me happy again because they sing. Or they sing because they got crickets. So, yeah, crickets just make me sleep. In fact, I've got the last 3 nights outside my window right here, he must be big because he's loud. And I've listened to him the last 3 nights. It's been kind of nice. I love crickets. And we get tree frogs here too, cricket stuff. And to hear them, I can turn off all the fans. And even with the windows closed on a night like this, you can hear. It's great. It's like sleeping outside. Everybody have a wonderful night. I will see you guys either tomorrow night or Friday night. Please have a wonderful day. Please If you can give to the channel, please do. The donations help pay for the StreamYard and for stuff that she uses to run the channel and information outlets. So if you can give, best way to give to the channel or donate to the channel is through her PayPal or her Cash App. I will start putting mine back in there because I know a lot of people don't do those. They do either Venmo or something. I have that, so I should probably at least put that in there for her, because all the money that we make does go back in the check. But also at the point, this is kind of her income right now. So if you can help, I know there's a lot of sadness going on in this world, but I have to bring it up because this is her life too. And that's one of the reasons why I do this. So yeah, if you can help, it'd be appreciative. But also concentrate on the people that need the real help right now. Nothing against Gemma, but there's a lot of sadness going on in the South that really can use a lot of love right now. But $1 here or there for Gemma would be awesome. I want everybody to have a wonderful night. And I will either see you, like I said, tomorrow or Friday. And please, everybody, have a good, safe day tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you all on the left side. I will see you all on the flip side. Much love to you all. You're all so fantastic, and I love you guys all so much. And I do am comfortable, even though I'm still nervous, even as I sign off. Good night, and have a wonderful one.